Diana Alvarez is an expansive multimedia artist and educator. Her soulful music is bilingual, and she says the intent behind her original songs is to exalt queer love, liberation, and to fiercely sing out against oppression. She grew up in South Texas, but now calls the Pioneer Valley her home, and producer Dave Frazier brings us her story.
For a long time in my life, I knew that I was a singer, I was a vocalist and a writer. And I knew I wanted to write songs. And eventually I realized, and it was because of, losing family, that I realized I needed to center art in my world. And I needed to do that in a way that felt that my whole self was being part of the practice. Won't let them take me away. Well, I don't really identify with the word Hispanic. It is a term that was given to us in colonization, and I identify as a Chicana, Chicanx human, a person of Mexican-American ancestry. I was just finishing my MFA program at Sarah Lawrence College. I was working on an MFA in writing, and I came out here with my first queer love, and we were looking at this area as a queer haven. And I was really excited by what I had heard was a vibrant art scene. What a difference a day made. I work in multiple mediums as a singer-songwriter, as a poet, composer, filmmaker, and I'm also a scholar and educator. But really what it means is I sit down and I try to create an experience where I'm connecting to other humans, because we have bodies. We're always trying to connect with our souls, our bodies, our minds, and we're never really just one thing. So it's just my way of being honest about it. I use that word as my stage name, Doctora Chingona. One, because I want other people to know that PhD scholars can look like me and can do all the things I do and can be artistic, and that we have a right to call ourselves badasses for everything we do. You are the sound of I worked with a composer named Pauline Oliveros, who taught me to use a room as an instrument. So every space we go into is going to have a different reverberation time and different material for or sounds to bounce off of. And so when I enter any space, I think it's become more of an intuitive thing to kind of work with the space and to listen as I'm singing. I feel like these very profound life lessons have come from just walking. And it started as a grief practice. When I lost family, I started going out to hike early in the morning and just, trying to connect with the land. And I think there's something about the way that our full body is engaged. We're sweating, our blood is flowing. It really shifts something for me internally and spiritually. When I go for a hike, right after, often I'll start writing. I'll just do a free write. Cuando vuelve a tu lado. In 2020, we were playing virtually so much, and I would put so much energy into a video or into a virtual show, and sometimes there would be people in the chat, and that was great, but many times it was like putting all this energy out into, and it would just fall flat. So I try to hold on to those moments where people would tell me how much it meant to them, because at the end of the day, I'm not just creating for myself to listen to myself. I'm really trying to reach other humans. I love